Coronation Street spoilers hint at even more turmoil and tense moments ahead, with possible departures, secret alliances, and an intensifying abuse storyline shaking up the ITV soap. More chaos is set to unfold on Coronation Street as fresh teasers reveal gripping scenes, shocking revelations, and major shakeups on the cobbles. The week begins in the aftermath of teen Betsy Swain's arrest, when her mother, Becky Swain, shows her ex Lisa Swain a USB drive, assuring her that it could help clear Betsy's name. Acting on this, Lisa heads to the police station and submits the evidence, proving her daughter wasn't responsible for damaging the patrol car. As Lisa lashes out at her superior, D.I. Costello, over Betsy's false arrest, the teenager is eventually freed. Meanwhile, Costello tells Lisa that Becky had tried to reach out multiple times during the 4 years she was presumed dead and hiding in Spain, but he insists it was too dangerous to make contact. While he tries to place the blame on himself for the lack of communication, it quickly becomes obvious that he's lying, and Becky is concealing the real story. Later, Costello warns Becky that he's done his part by letting Lisa believe he was responsible, so now she must keep her promise and leave Weatherfield within a month. But Becky might not be the only one saying goodbye. As she tells Betsy about her plan, the teen appears eager to move away with her mother. When Lisa discovers Betsy has skipped work and gone on a shopping spree with Becky, she furiously demands answers. Meanwhile, Roy Cropper turns up at the flat after Carla Connor asks him to keep an eye on Lisa while Becky is around, but what he walks in on leaves him baffled. He finds Lisa and Becky sitting closely together on the sofa, with photos showing Lisa holding Becky's hand to her face. But what exactly is going on between them? And is everything really as it appears? Elsewhere, Theo Silverton runs into his old fling Pete again and makes it clear he wants nothing more to do with him. However, when Pete mocks him as a drama queen, Theo completely loses his temper. The outburst results in Theo and Gary Windass losing an important business deal, putting their company's future in jeopardy. Todd Grimshaw is left deeply unsettled by Theo's behavior, especially after he recognizes Pete as the man from the apartment. Gary loses his temper as he confronts Theo about the chaos he's created, suggesting it's best they part ways for good. Meanwhile, Todd feels humiliated when young Harry accidentally spills his milkshake on the seat of the car Theo gifted him, though Theo appears unbothered on the surface. However, behind closed doors, Theo's calm facade shatters as he lashes out at Todd, who promises to get the mess sorted, only to accidentally scratch the car in the process. Terrified of Theo's reaction, Todd is left wondering whether he should confess or cover it up. Elsewhere, Tyrone Dobbs faces embarrassment as he continues to struggle with his injuries from the hit and run. When Nick Tilsley helps steer his wheelchair through the restaurant and Tyrone later battles to cut his meal, his pride takes a hit. At that same moment, Fizz Dobbs becomes the victim of a mugging, but the question remains, who attacked her? Meanwhile, their daughter Hope can't help but laugh when Jake Windass teases Sam, and it soon becomes clear that Jake has a crush on her. Later in the week, Hope is distraught as the nasty messages on her phone continue to flood in. But who's sending them, and why? Over in another part of Weatherfield, a sleep-deprived George dozes off at work, leaving Christina to answer the phone and turn away new customers in his absence. Meanwhile, Bernie Winter is determined to get revenge on Naomi for her cruel treatment of Asha, which left the young paramedic struggling with her mental health and ultimately led to her attempting to take her own life. When Kit Green reveals that Naomi has a past of violent outbursts, Bernie and Gemma decide to set a trap and teach her a harsh lesson. Dev Alahan, however, reaches breaking point as he feels helpless watching Asha suffer. Matters worsen when Bernie and Gemma's plan backfires, provoking Naomi into a heated outburst that they secretly record. Dev then publicly blames Naomi for pushing Asha to the edge, a confrontation that ends up circulating online, leaving Asha deeply humiliated. Soon after, Dev discovers that Asha's brother Adi has seen the viral video and is hurt that he was kept in the dark about his sister's trauma. Elsewhere, both Abby and Carl are struggling to find work, just as Abby begins divorce proceedings with Kevin. After spending time with teen Dylan and Carl, Abby finds herself tempted to turn to crime as desperation for money begins to take hold. Coronation Street reveals the reason behind Todd Grimshaw's abuse storyline as Theo Silverton's dark side comes to light. Viewers of the long-running ITV soap had been hoping to see Todd, played by Gareth Pierce since 2020, finally find happiness in love. Now, producer Kate Brooks has explained why Todd was chosen to take center stage in a powerful and unsettling domestic abuse plot, one that's set to intensify in the coming weeks. While fans initially rooted for Todd's new romance, many were wary of Theo Silverton right from the start. Their paths crossed unexpectedly earlier this year when Theo, who worked as a scaffolder, met Todd on the cobbles, and sparks flew almost instantly. But although Todd was eager to begin a new relationship, Theo insisted on keeping things secret at first. It was soon exposed that his secrecy stemmed from the fact that he was married with 2 children, both unaware of his true sexuality. Since then, their romance has been anything but smooth. Tension mounted as Theo's family reacted badly, and things grew more complicated with the introduction of Noah Headley, a church clerk who had subjected Theo to conversion therapy in the past. After Noah's sudden death, Todd found himself sinking deeper into a manipulative and controlling relationship, unaware of how much danger he was truly in. His unease grew after an awkward encounter with one of Theo's former partners, who hinted at similar abusive behavior in the past. Now, Coronation Street has confirmed that a special episode focused on Todd and Theo will soon air, delving further into the dark reality of their relationship. Speaking to the Manchester Evening News and other media, producer Kate Brooks explained, "It's an incredibly difficult story, and we've intentionally allowed it to unfold slowly. We've watched Todd fall for this man who's complicated, troubled, and who's seemingly sacrificed everything for him. By the time the real story begins, Todd feels deeply indebted to Theo because of what he's given up." At that stage, Theo's true nature emerges. He's dangerous, calculating, and an expert at gaslighting and manipulating Todd. At its core, this is a story about domestic abuse within a same-sex relationship. Kate also revealed the reason Todd was the character chosen for this emotionally intense storyline. "We wanted to focus on someone like Todd, a character fans adore, who's witty, mischievous, and morally flexible, and see what happens when someone like Theo storms into his life and completely takes control. We'll gradually watch Todd's confidence and identity begin to crumble. His insecurities will surface as he tries to navigate life with a man he truly believes he loves, even though this man is abusive and violent. Theo constantly manipulates Todd into doubting himself, making him question his worth, his judgment, and even his own reality. Even now, viewers online keep saying, 'Todd, get out! He's bad news.' But just like in real cases of domestic abuse, it's never that simple. Todd loves Theo. He thinks he can fix him. He believes the trauma Theo's endured has made him the way he is. Theo does some truly awful things to Todd, yet Todd keeps holding on to the moments that feel good. The laughter, the affection, and the rare times Theo makes him feel safe and cherished. He's charming with Todd's family too, which makes everything more confusing. Todd has never really had a stable, long-term relationship before, so this is all uncharted territory for him. We wanted to show how these relationships can form, step by step, and how people can end up trapped before they even realize what's happening. Coronation Street continues to air on ITV1 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m., with episodes also available to stream on ITVX and YouTube.